Welcome back. You are still watching The Full View, and now we get into your sports stories for tonight. Now, last week we had a bit of a discussion with Aaron, and tonight we carry on this conversation that we had with former Proteas spinner Phangiso about his career. The last time we spoke, we touched on a number of things, from his development to the hurdles that he faced at the Titans, as well as the life jacket that he eventually got from the Lions through coaches Dave Nosworthy and Geoffrey Toyana. Good evening, Aaron, and welcome back to Sports on The Full View.
Good evening, and evening to all your viewers.
Thank you so much. Okay, so Aaron, let's pick up where we left off last time, right? So you finally get to the point where you make the Proteas team and you join up with the likes of the then captain AB de Villiers, the likes of Faf du Plessis and JP Duminy. And then the crowning moment comes for you where you're selected to form part of the 2015 World Cup squad. Now tell us about that experience, because it ended up being somewhat extremely a forgettable experience for you.
Yeah, no, that was a good experience for me. Being selected to obviously go to the World Cup, that's a big stage. That's a stage where obviously any sportsman or any individual will want to reach, the World Cup. It doesn't get bigger than that. I enjoyed it, the experience and all of that, the hype about it, getting announced, being given a blazer in front of the whole nation. By the sports minister, the former sports minister, Mr. Philip Balula. Those were great moments, but obviously for me, it didn't go as I thought. We got to New Zealand, Australia, where obviously I didn't play a game. I was the only guy in the squad of 15 that didn't get a chance to actually showcase what I was capable of. I remember spending hours and hours in the nets, preparing for that one opportunity or that one chance to come, just that one game to actually say that I participated in the World Cup, and it didn't happen. That was disappointing, not only disappointing to myself, but I know my family was disappointed, friends, all of that, the community, end of the day, when you're representing your country, you're representing everyone that you leave behind, community, you're representing your family, you're representing all of those people. So it was a very emotional tour. It was very long, felt a bit lonely, I don't think, obviously being one of the only black African player there, not having anyone to actually lean on and talk about my feelings at the time and how to go about things. It was a lonely, I think, a month and 2 weeks or 3 weeks. It was sad for me.
Yeah, now speaking about that World Cup, quite a number of things happened. Now, let's talk about the selection of Vernon Philander ahead of Kyle Abbott in the semi-finals. That must have caused some debate amongst the team members, just as the non-selection of Kaya Zondo in the series decider in India. Tell us about the feeling amongst the various team players in the camp when those two incidents took place.
Yeah, the incident with Vernon, that's surprising, because if one gets picked to go to the World Cup, in a squad of 15-man squad, you're definitely good enough to play at any given point. Yes, Kyle Abbott did well, but Vernon is as much a quality bowler as him. And obviously I remember the selection was not made until morning, if I'm correct. Normally, they select the team the night before dinner time around 7 o'clock. But then there was a whole lot that was happening, and a whole lot that it distracted the team. People were not happy about that selection. For what good reason, I don't understand. Like I said, because Vernon is a top bowler. There's no reason in any team, you play him in any team. So for people to carry on the way they carried on and blame the situation on the government and transformation and all of that, I just don't understand. These are the people that probably think they're bigger than the game, or people that think that they can make big calls, people that think that they're bigger than South Africa. You get players like that, and which is disappointing. You look at the Kaya Zondo incident, where Kaya is supposed to be the next batsman in line, and I think it was Dean Elder that was flown in to play in JP's place because JP was injured. It was also disappointing to hear certain individuals to say that they wouldn't take the field if Kaya plays that game. Why would a guy be picked if he's not good enough to participate in a certain or specific match? That is where we are at the moment, and that is things that need to be changed. No one is bigger than the game. No one is bigger than South Africa. We wear this badge of ours proudly because of we representing not only a certain race or not only specific people. We representing South Africa as a whole. That's why we call ourselves a rainbow nation.
Yes. Now, when incidents of this nature take place, the role of the captain and the leadership becomes extremely critical and important. Now, do you think that the Proteas have leaders who have a different mindset and will not react with skepticism when players of color are included in the team?
You know what? To be honest, leaders are people that understand what's going on around them. People that would take any situation into their hands and deal with whatever that's thrown and actually embrace change.
Yes.
I would say there's a lot of times where, this is my personal opinion, where I think that sometimes we fail to do that in the Proteas, where I think individuals don't wanna transform, or they haven't transformed, and it becomes a problem when a player of color or a black player comes in the team and not be given the same opportunities that other people are given. We're going back to the Kaya incident, where as a captain or as a leadership group, you hear words that are coming out to say, I will not take the field if Kaya is picked to play in the 11. That is very disturbing. And you get someone like a David Miller that's been struggling for the last 10 games, and Kaya has proven himself over and over again. He's been playing for the SAA. He played for the franchise. He's been captaining his franchise. He's been doing so well that he deserves a call-up. And to hear people say that, it demoralizes you. It kills your confidence. I'm good friends with Kaya, for a long time. That killed his confidence, and for people, like I say, those kind of people that call themselves leaders, that is not leading. That is being biased. That is practicing the very old days and years that the whole country wants to forget.
Yes. Okay, now let me take you through to now the tour to India. On the flight back to South Africa, there was an incident that took place. Tell us what happened on that flight, and also just, were you the only person that was drinking alcohol on that flight? And who actually got punished for that particular incident?
Now, that's a long story, but let me cut it short. We played a series in India. And obviously, that was the first time we won a one-day series in India.
Yes.
And I remember after winning the series, every after game when we do well, we obviously have team fines where we fine guys, and there's a whole lot of drinking. I'm talking a whole lot of drinking. So, but what happened that time? I remember the Indian management, the stadium management, said that they're closing off the grounds. And we had to take our fines to the hotel. So a whole lot of guys didn't sleep. A whole lot of guys had a good night. We celebrated as per usual. But I think it was we were traveling back home to South Africa because the rest of the guys stayed on for the test match.
Yes.
So the 5 guys traveling, I think it was myself, Quinton, Chris Morris, Fahan Bahadin. I forgot the 5th guy, but anyway. We got to Dubai airport, and in the lounge, we sitting there having our lunch and all of that. And I promise you, there was no alcohol involved, none of that. It was just tired bodies and all of that. Me thinking as a normal man, thinking as a normal sportsman, I decided to take sleeping pills 15 minutes before our boarding time. And that's what me forgetting, obviously, that I still had some alcohol in my system. So that obviously the reaction was not great. You know, I was just disappointed with the fact that obviously my teammates that were there with me, they knew that no one was drinking at the time, but no one actually stood up and said, look, this guy was not drinking, this is what happened. And I even explained it to the Proteas management. They understood, but then I didn't get any protection. I didn't get anything from anyone. And the sad thing is the story came out 6 months after the incident, and that was after actually when the black players complained about being put on the sidelines and all of that. That was the whole sad thing about that story. But yeah, I wasn't the only guy drinking the previous night. Everyone was drinking. I think 90% of the Proteas guys enjoy a drink. So that was how the story rolled out. I was painted as the bad boy end of the day.
Quite unfortunate how something could have been resolved so easily ended up taking that turn. But let's move on. In your opinion, do you think that we will see a black captain in any one of the three formats of cricket in South Africa?
You know what? I really hope so. You know, there's some great leaders out there. You know, you look at your Themba Bavumas, he's proven himself over and over again under pressure. You know, he's played quality innings under pressure to save the Proteas. He's off the field. He's doing amazing things. He's a great leader. I've played under him. You know, the one thing that I think it shouldn't happen now is him being given the captaincy because of obviously what's going on at the moment with what's going on in the media, all of this pressure that I think CSA is feeling to want to maybe put a face, which a lot of times I think it's been done over the years. I think I was the face of the World Cup 2015. Tami Tolekile has been the face of whatever years. Makhaya has been the face. So I just hope that the next captain that they put there, and if he's a black cricketer, he must just be put there because they believe the guy can do a job, not to set up the guy to fail like they've always done before.
100%. As we wrap up, just quickly from you, the last question. CSA has now got a transformation committee which is set up to deal with the Black Lives Matter campaign as well as transformation. Do you have any hope in them that they'll be able to achieve what they've set out to achieve with this committee?
Yeah, look, what CSA is trying to do, I really acknowledge that, and there's a lot of guys that acknowledge, you know, but to achieve certain things, I think, in life, there's a lot of things that you need to tackle first. And I think CSA are not tackling important issues that are happening at the moment. You know, I was just listening to Tami Tolekile speak about how Graham Smith is not acknowledging what he probably put him through or what had happened in his era of him being a captain. You know, we need CSA as former players. We need CSA to actually acknowledge what players are feeling, what players went through, and sit down with the players and hear the players out. And you know, the people that were involved in incidents like that, like the Kaya incidents, you know, the people that were involved in the Tami Tolekile not keeping he was there. Those people need to take responsibility. That's why in South Africa we've got a day of reconciliation. People sat down, they acknowledged that this is the wrong that we did as individuals, as a community or whatever, and then you achieve that. Then you can map out a way moving forward. Then it's easier. There's nothing wrong with saying I've wronged you. Hey, we're still friends. I've wronged you, and can we move on from this? I apologize. Let's plan out or map out the way forward so that we can build a better future for those coming after us.
100%. Aaron, thank you so much for talking to us tonight. We hope that you'll have a good evening further.
Thank you very much for having me.
Aaron Phangiso, former Proteas spinner there, just telling us about his experiences in cricket as we continue to look at what has happened in terms of racial discrimination in South African sport. But that's where we'll leave it for now.